Did you know that the difference between traditional support and support with AI can be quite big? Did you know, for example, that the handling time per ticket can be up to 80% lower with AI, that the first time response can be up to 37% faster, that the resolution speed overall can be up to 52% faster as well, and that basically the agent productivity goes up between 10 and 20% from companies that use traditional support and companies that enhance it with AI. Globally, this amounts to roughly 5 hours per agent and per day that are gained in support operation thanks to AI. Hello, my name is Andre, and today we're going to see how Odoo can enhance your support operations. I will leave you some time to scan the QR code that you can find right here. I will come back to the questions in more or less 18 minutes, the time that I finish my speech, and you will have 5 minutes to ask me the best questions. If I don't have the time to read all of them, you can come see us at the expert booth any day, be it today or tomorrow. So, I hope you have all scanned the code. I see some phones still in the air. I will wait 5 more seconds. Okay, so what are we going to see in this talk? Well, I see that you have seen some stuff about AI in this booth, but here we are going to prioritize AI agents in the ticketing system, AI agents in live support, as well as AI enhanced field and automated suggestions. And in the end, we're going to see how to build big automation frameworks that will allow you to gain a lot of time with your help desk operations. So, first of all, what is an AI agent? Most of you must have seen it already in this booth, but basically it's something that you can feed information, you can give him instructions through prompts, and you can use it anywhere in your database. But how does it work exactly? Well, let's see that together. Let's check in the first time AI agents and the default prompts in ticketing. So basically what we're going to do here is use them to summarize tickets, draft answers, and troubleshoot based on their knowledge. First, let's open our database and go on the AI app right here. You can see that I have a lot of agents. Let's just open this one, which is a custom agent that I've made, and we see directly some fields. For example, the LLM model, in this case we are on GPT-4o, but of course you can choose among any other one for now between GPT and Gemini, for which you have a key. There is the response style, so analytical means that it will be more mathematical, it will give more often the same answers to the same questions, whereas a creative style will approach it in a more human way, let's say, and therefore change its answer every time. In this case, we are going to keep it balanced, since we need balance in the answers of our help desk agent. You can see that we can check the small box here to restrict our agent to the sources, and we are going to see directly what the sources are. And we can add some topics. So we are not going to dive deep into the topics here, but just know that basically those are actions that we can give our AI agent the right to do. So for example, create records or update specific stuff. Thanks, amongst other things, also to Python expressions or stuff like that. And then we have our system prompt. In this case, I have on purpose chosen to make a very easy, and some of you might say maybe too short of a prompt, just to show you that even with such a small prompt, you can still have something that works pretty well inside Odoo. Then of course, this is clearly not a good example of prompt. Later on, if I have the time, I will try to show a better prompt, of course. And here we have, in the end, the last field, which is the sources. And you can see here that we can easily add sources to our AI agent so that he would analyze them and use them then as knowledge in order to answer our questions. You can see that we can upload files, links. We can also add documents that are inside our document app in Odoo. And lastly, but clearly not least, we can also add knowledge articles. And that's basically what we did here. We have added, since our company in this case is going to be a printing company, so we sell printers and we have issues with them, we have an help desk center for that. We have given the agent a printer guide, which is just a document with information about how our printer works, and then a small FAQ knowledge article, as you can see right here, with basic questions that our customers ask us quite often, or also the questions that we get asked the most often in our tickets. So let's see how that works now in the ticketing system, because here we're going to see how AI can boost your support operations. So let's open the help desk app. You can see here that we have our two help desk teams. We are going to open one randomly, and we are going to open this ticket. So we can see that this ticket still hasn't been assigned, and that we have some issues such as the printer will not load paper, there is a green blinking light, a steady blink, and so on and so on. Okay, well, what can I do thanks to my AI agent? That's pretty easy. I can just click here, and you can see that I have already some default questions that I can ask my agent. But those questions, they are not standard in Odoo. So how do we actually create these questions, and what is behind those questions? Let's dive into that by coming shortly back to our AI app. Afterwards, we will keep doing our ticket, but let's go to configurations and then default prompts. So here you can see that I have created a new default prompt, which is help customer, an easy name. And basically, if I open it, we can see that it needs to trigger at a certain moment, in this case when a user wants to get help on the record, which is what the small AI button on top of my screen was doing. And specifically in this case, it will only be triggered if we ask for help on a help desk ticket. We can call a certain agent, in this case our help desk agent that we have already created and who has our internal documentation, and then we can give him instructions. What are instructions? Technically, it's just a second prompt on top of the first prompt. So of course, our agent will first use the first prompt to know who he is and how he should act. And then here we can give him some more instructions, such as analyze the issues. You can write emails, sign your email as Julian, or stuff like that. And in this case, we have added also AI prompts right here in the button tab. What are those prompts? Well, as the name says, it's just a third level of prompting, which is just pre-configured questions that we can easily ask our agent. And that's, if you check, the three buttons that we were finding on our help desk ticket. So let's go back to it. We open this issue with a printer. We open the agent. Okay, what do we want to do? Do we want to list the issues? Do we want to know if the solution is in the FAQ or documentation? Well, maybe yes. Let's start with that. Is it something that we can easily solve or not? Is it in our documentation, in our FAQ or not? Let's wait a while. Here we have our answer, and we also have the reference in the end, so we know that it took this information from our printer guide that we fed to the agent. And so he tells us basically that the green blinking light in the printer is covered and so on. Okay, that's nice. But then maybe I want to ask him another question. Of course, I could just ask other questions in the open chat, but in this case, I want again to use just my button. And so I am going to ask him to already write an email to answer the issues of my customer. Of course, we need to wait some seconds. So the time that the AI can think of an answer, basing itself here on our documentation, and we can see that we have our answer, that it is signed as Julian, and he also gave us the references. In this case, we can just log it as a note, for example, but since we really wanted to just send the answer to the customer, we will directly click on send as message. We can close this. We can, of course, print it in a little better way, and we can also ditch the references, because in this case we don't need them, and then we can just send the email. Here we don't have a customer on our ticket, so of course it will not work, but you get the idea. So that's pretty nice, and that's how we can troubleshoot, draft answers, and summarize tickets basically also with the AI agents. Let's see now what the AI agents on the portal can do. Because of course here we have used our agent for an internal use, but we can also use it to answer the questions of our customers. Because how many times did you receive a ticket that was just a copy and paste of another ticket that was just, I have a red blinking light, and we receive this ticket 10 times a day because our customer do not open the printing guide? Well, fear no more. Just add here on the portal your AI agent, and you will be able to ask directly here. So I am not logged in, as you can see here. I can sign in. So I am just a portal user, and I can say, oh no, I have a red blinking light with a big eye on my printer. we will ask this to our AI agent, and of course, he will answer after a few seconds. And so here we can see that it easily answered that you just need to replace the cartridges. But let's say the question was a bit more complicated and we wanted the help of a real human. Well, in that case, everything that we need to do is just click here on the Ask a Human button. And as you can see, here, the help desk agent already answered, but if I open my database as a user, you can see here that I have received a message and I can just easily answer my customer. And of course, this is just then a standard live chat feature that is triggered. So that's nice, but let's come back to here, to our agents, not more on the portal, but now in fields and automations. So how can we simplify the flows of our support operations? Well, I don't know if you have heard of it, but now we have AI automations and AI enhanced fields. So let's see how those can help us autocomplete ticket metadata, categorize issues, and prioritize effectively, therefore reducing the manual data entry. Because you know that filling in the information, tagging, assigning the tickets, it's something that takes a lot of time. So let's see how we can speed this up. Here I am going to take an already existing ticket because I don't want to start writing all of this content in front of you, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to duplicate it so that it will act as if it were a new ticket. So if you're ready, let's just duplicate the ticket. Oh, what's happening? You're losing a bit of time. That's because we have the AI actions that are being triggered by the creation of a new ticket. And now, what do we see? This new ticket, we can see that it's the copy, it has been created right now at 2:42 p.m. Well, it is in the right help desk team, it has already been assigned, it has a level of priority, it has a tag, and if I just refresh my page, oh, in this case it takes a bit longer than expected, let's just click on the field and wait for it to compute. We can also see that we have already bullet points of the issues, because of course here it's super long. I don't want to spend every day 15 minutes reading one single support ticket of someone who's telling me that he had terrible instant coffee. I don't care of it. I just want to solve my issue. And so here I can just have all the important stuff, and once again with the AI agent or anything I can then summarize, answer, reply pretty fast. But that's great. How did we do it? Because it's not magical, of course. Let's just go back to our base view here and check the automation rules. Here you can see that we have 3 different automation rules. We have one that is called add tag, another add priority, and then change teams. How do they work? Well, add tag is an action that we will trigger on the help desk ticket when on creation of the record. That's why we duplicated our ticket, but as I was saying, it will work with any new record as long as it is already pre-filled with information. Of course, if you create the ticket and only give it a title and only then fill in the rest of the information, this kind of automation will not be triggered, but for that you can choose other kinds of triggers, so don't worry about that. Here we didn't put any domain, and all that we did was add an action. And if we click here, add tag AI, we have the type of action that we have added. In this case, update record, because that's what we want to do. Update with AI, not just update or compute. And most importantly, the field that we want to update, therefore the tags. And here we have added again a small prompt. So here is the description of a ticket, its title, and a list of tags. Add the tag corresponding the most to the description. If no tag corresponds to the description or to the title, do not add any tags. Here are your sources, and then here you can see that we have stuff that is highlighted. How does it work? Those are just fields that we have selected with our field selector. Sorry about that. So how it works, it's like the dynamic templates in the email, for example. So here the AI will not read here are the sources / description. No, it will not know that it's a field and that he needs to go inside the field to fetch the information. Actually, if I do this and I do field selector and I choose, in this case, description, what it will do is that if my description is, hi, my name is John, basically what the AI will read is, here are your sources, 2 dots, hi, my name is John, comma, display name, comma, tags, and so on. So basically, it just works by giving the text as input to the AI. So as I was saying, the AI will not know that it is looking into a field, it will just know that it is the text. And this is very important when you are prompting, because if you use it in a bad way, of course, this will not work. So you can also see that we have therefore the two fields here, so description and display name, but we also have 4 other records right here, and as I just said, those are records, those are not fields. And how do we take the records? Well, here I told him add the tag corresponding the most, and here is a list of tags, and so what I did is just that I did /record selector right here, and it allowed me to give him all the tags that are present in the database. So if I don't want him, for example, to give the tag CRM, and I just wanted to give the tag printer invoice or intervention, I can just avoid putting accounting and CRM in the tags. Or I can also not put any of these tags, and it will automatically recognize that it can use any record that is on our database. So that's how this action works, and then you will see that the other 2 actions are pretty similar. We have here add priority, same thing. You will receive a ticket description and a title. If you think it must be fixed between 24 hours at 3 stars, and so on and so on. And then we have the last one, which is change teams. In this case, this wasn't triggered, but it could be that we have multiple help desk teams, one for interventions, one for billing issues, one for complaints, and we just say to the AI, read the description, and according to what you think, here are the 3 names of my teams, just choose the best one, and it will automatically move our ticket to the right team. So that's great, but seems like I forgot something, no? Because here, when we created the ticket, what happened was that it was also automatically assigned. But I don't have any automation for that. How did I do that? Well, that's easy. We just need to remember that Odoo also has some great standard features that can, of course, be enhanced by AI. And in this case, if I go on the settings of my help desk team, customer care, you can see that I have checked the automatic assignment, and that I have chosen the dispatch tickets based on tags. And so here I could configure who needs to be assigned to what kind of ticket according to the tags. So of course AI is great, it helps me a lot, but in this case it wouldn't have been helpful to create a new action saying assign it to him if there is this tag, since this is already a standard feature of Odoo. So do not forget to also use them. There is one last thing that I didn't show about AI here in Helpdesk. It was just the AI field that I used. So you saw it work, but maybe you didn't understand how it worked. Well, in this case, I have just created a property, but it can also be a custom field done with Studio. And we just need to modify it and say that it will be, well, of course, we give him a label and a field type, and then we just give it the AI checkbox, and we give another prompt. So in this case, it was just, you will get a support description, a support ticket description, summarize it in a maximum of 5 bullet points. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but this is just to show that you can use a lot of stuff with AI linked to Helpdesk. So what should we keep in mind? Of course, good automation flows need good prompting, because otherwise nothing will work, or you will have stuff that is not clear for the AI, and so it will do the wrong things. Do not forget that AI is not magical, and do not forget to work well with the field selection and record selection when you're prompting, especially for your actions. What are the key takeaways of this talk? Well, AI revolutionizes support operations and speeds up all the processes. As you have seen, I have been able to create a ticket and it was instantly assigned, tagged, prioritized, could have been moved to the right team. This usually takes a huge amount of time. In this case, it was all done in a matter of 5 seconds maybe. So that's great, but do not forget, as we said, to pay attention to your prompts, and most importantly, do not forget the standard features. And if you're wondering, yes, all the images in this PowerPoint were also done by AI, because I also needed to gain a lot of time while preparing it. So do not forget that there is a lot of related talks after this one. I will leave you the list for more or less 10 seconds, which is the time that I have before giving you the pad, and then I will answer your questions. Thanks for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, André. I will now present you a few questions from out of the audience. Is the agent sensitive to where on which object it is opened within Odoo?
Yes, so I have quickly more or less talked about it, but it is sensitive in the fact that I need to create a default prompt that allows me to create it to use it in a certain model, and then of course it will use the fields that are available on that model. So if I don't put any model here, it can be used on any model inside the database, but of course it might be less precise because then we would have a more generic prompt probably.
All right, thank you. Next question. Can the AI work on large documents or images, videos, or does it only handle texts?
I am not sure of the limitations for that, so you would probably need to ask Luc, who is the PO, or go to an expertise booth. But as far as I know, it can handle pretty large text documents, but I have not tried with videos or images.
All right, thank you. Next question. Can I configure my agent to analyze existing tickets and generate a draft response based on similar previous tickets?
Well, that's more or less what we did with the knowledge article, but basically, yes, if you have a knowledge article inside your database where you put the recurring tickets, that was more or less the goal here with the FAQ. If you have a lot of similar tickets, you can just put them here, and then, of course, the AI will be able to know the solution. So for now, the answer is yes and no, in the sense that it can do that if you put the information somewhere else. As far as I know, it cannot already go and fetch all the information of all the tickets, but maybe with some kind of good automation and good prompting, it might be possible, but be careful with what I'm saying here because I'm just speculating.
All right, thank you. If there is a link to SharePoint documents added into sources, can agents somehow use users' Microsoft credentials to access that document, or does all external documents needs to be available for all?
Well, I would say that it needs to be available for all in the sense that I don't think that the two LLMs that we use are technically authorized to go and fetch information on private repositories. So I don't think that you would be able even to give them your credential and that it would have access to the document. So I would say maybe download the document and give it to him, or put it on the drive that is available for everyone.
All right, thank you. Can the agent answer with screenshots directly in chat or just links?
Just links.
All right.
As far as I know, I have never heard of screenshots in this version of AI, but it could be a great idea.
All right, thank you. Can an agent be fed with the chatter of all the tickets in the database and guess the best action based on other tickets?
Well, once again, as I was saying, if you put all of that in a knowledge article, yes, but to go directly in the help desk tickets for now, I don't think it's the case.
All right.
So yeah, you would need to copy and paste it in a knowledge article, and basically it would work.
Okay, thank you. Can you explain a bit more about how topics works?
Yes, so topics, let's go back here. Topics basically, allow you to give the permission to the AI to use specific actions, like, for example, creation of records thanks to code. So let's quickly go here. I had created one that I didn't use here, but basically we could create, here it's a topic, we can add instructions, so another prompt, and then we can add tools. In this case, I have created a tool which contains code, which is just the expression to create a help desk ticket. And if we give that tool to the agent, he will be able to create tickets. I haven't tested it on this database, so I will not do it live in front of you, but if you want to do it with me later on, I will probably be at the service booth and we can try it together.
All right. Thank you very much, André. That's it for now. Can
Thank
I
you
have
as
another
well.
applause for André, please?
Thank you.